So welcome. I have hiked all the way back up here today to the beautiful mountains of Verbier. You can see them in the background, it's stunning, to offer you guys a really special autumn equinox yin class. So what we're actually going to do is start seated today. Now, by all means, if any of you are thinking that you just really need to lie down, it's your practice, right? You choose and decide what's best for you. Remember, I'm just here to facilitate this space, to guide you. But if that inner voice starts speaking to you, then please listen to that over me. Otherwise, if you would like to find a comfortable seat, you could cross your legs or kneel. You could even have your feet together if you prefer. Now, I don't have anything here because I've got no equipment. I don't even have a pillow. But if I had a pillow, I would have a pillow underneath my base. Because really, ideally, if we can, we need the hips above the knees. Some of you are going to need much more than a pillow. Sometimes you can double up that pillow, or cushions work too. Blocks. You can have blocks underneath your knees, underneath the base. You could be kneeling with blocks, pillows underneath the base. So many possibilities. Just be somewhere where your knees are comfortable and where that you can be nice and tall. And then perhaps you would like to have the palms open, the Hasta Mudra at the legs. Again, anything else, if you're being called to the heart, you just change. Be creative. Everything here is a suggestion, nothing is a demand. So as we find space up through the spine, feel as though you're being pulled up from the crown of the head without squeezing or clenching anything at all. Just paying attention to the body, to the breath. How is the breath? As you watch the breath moving around your body, and as we begin to really slow down. Feel that expansion of the breath from your base up as you fill up the belly, as you fill up the rib cage and the chest. And then that emptying out really, really slowly. So there's absolutely no rush here today. The breath will begin from the base up. Really feel like you're filling up the pelvis, the belly, the ribs and the chest. And then really slowly emptying back out again. How slow, how long, and how deep can you breathe? And perhaps even dimming the gaze, if that feels okay. Again, a suggestion. And just stay with that. Observe the breath. Be with the slowing down of the breath, the mind, the body. And perhaps just being with anything else that there is to notice about this moment in time. Autumn equinox, it's the change of the seasons, and for many of us it's one of the most challenging transitions, particularly in the West, as we go from the warmer months into the colder months. We can really feel that temperature change. But nature around us is also telling us what to do as the leaves begin to change colour, as the trees begin to shed. It's a time for us as well to slow down, to recuperate after a busy summer, to recover, and to also just honour the transition. That's often why we often get very sick at this time of year, if we don't slow down. Your body will tell you to slow down, it'll force you, right? And just like the trees are shedding, it's a time of really shedding all that we're not taking with us into the next season. And perhaps you'd like to have a little contemplation. What are you letting go of? And some of you may already have written that down, and you may just be going over that. You know, you can always hit pause at any moment if you just need more time to be with that or to be with anything. That's the beauty of using a recording. What are you letting go of? And that may be something so simple or something so bigger, so much bigger. And by all means, perfect to think that you don't have anything to let go of. Maybe it's just letting go of your day, stress, something simple. Or to feel like you're not ready to let go. Again, you know, everything's a suggestion. If there is anything you're letting go of, every exhalation, you can really be with that intention throughout the entire practice if you wish. So from here, as you perhaps just take a moment to elongate back up again, staying with that nice, steady, rhythmic breathing. As you exhale, just drop your right ear down towards the right shoulder. Again, keep pulling up and drop your left shoulder. Now you can just take the head slightly forwards, a wee half inch, or slightly back to find the real juicy spot in the back of the neck, the upper back. And for some of you, you're thinking that's enough. If you feel like you need more, you can take your right hand to your head. And you're not pulling the head, it's just more of a rest. And if you need even more, you can extend out your left fingertips and the fingers are just hovering off the ground. Relax your shoulders, face and jaw. Breathe into that side body. Into the side neck is what I mean by that. The neck, the upper back. Unclench your jaw and face. And then as you release out your hands, as you exhale, roll from the shoulder all the way down towards the chest. So chin comes to the chest. Again, you could pause it here if you wish, or you could just take the head slightly side to side. Just again, maybe a little half inch side to side. And just massage through the back of the neck. On an inhalation, roll all the way up from the chest. Just wait for the inhalation. There's no rush. To the other side and back to the centre. So when you hear me say inhale or exhale, you don't have to move immediately or begin that breath. Your breath stays in this nice steady rhythm. So without disturbing that rhythm, you just wait for the right breath and then you move then. Or on the next one. Just yin, no rush. When you're ready to exhale, well, inhale, pull up first. Exhale this time. It will be your left ear that falls down towards the left shoulder. And again, pull up through the spine. Drop the right shoulder. Unclench your jaw and face. Find the juicy spot, the right spot, where you have a stretch but it's not painful. You know, see with neck and shoulder work, it's so easy to push so much, you actually do more harm than good. So if you feel like your neck's freezing up or clenching, it's too much. Then if you want more, and you might not, you could take the left hand to the head, and again it rests. You can extend the right fingers, so the opposite fingers from your head extend, and they just hover off the ground. If anything feels a bit awkward or uncomfortable, maybe moving your arms slightly, your hands slightly, your head slightly. Usually just find the right place to be. So really listen to that and avoid any awkwardness. Unclench the jaw, shoulders. Stay with a long, slow, deep breathing. Release out your arms and hands as you exhale, roll from the shoulder all the way down to the chest. Maybe taking the head slightly side to side. Inhale from chest all the way up to the other side. back to the centre, and you can even look side to side. Just gently. Great. And back to the centre. Bring the hands by your body. On an inhalation, the arms will come all the way out and up. Spin the palms in, drop the shoulders, and as you exhale, take the hands down shoulder height. On an inhalation, the right arm comes right across, and you could pull it across and then hug it in if you wish as you drop your shoulders. Or right elbow into left, and you may even be able to hook or wrap into the centre. Drop your shoulders, drop the elbows. Now, wherever you are, that may be good. If you need more, you could pull the elbows up and away, but your shoulders are melting down your back, and you're breathing slowly and deeply in and out. And again, if you ever need a break, you take a break and just stay with the breath. You can always just come out of practice. Just stay with the breath wherever you are. If you would like to move the spine, you can inhale, draw the pelvis back, lift the belly up, lift the chest up. And then as you exhale, draw the pelvis under, round the back, melt the head, melt the shoulders. Inhale, pelvis goes back, lift up through the chest, create space between your tail and your chest, and drop the shoulders. Exhale, come under, round and bow. Inhale, relaxing the upper body into it. Exhale. Now this time, take your hands back behind you, drop the tail down. As the tail goes down, pull up through the spine, like as the shoulders go down, the tail goes down, you're pulling up through the pelvic floor. The ribs will come in slightly, and that might be enough. If you need more, then lift the chest. So the chest is like the last thing to lift. Breathe into your chest, relax the upper body, and stay with the breath. Feel that expansion through the chest. Soften the face and jaw. When you're ready to inhale, the arms come out and up. Shoulders are free, jaws free. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, the left arm comes across, and again, it can be straight and you could hug it in, just drop your shoulders. Or elbow to elbow. And maybe you can even hug like this, or you could wrap. Draw the shoulders down the back. So there's almost this action of really the shoulders going back, so the elbows might go down. And again, some of you are thinking that this is way enough. Or, again, stay with the breath. The breath is like the foundation here, right? So just keep connected to it. If you would like to go deeper, you could inhale, draw the pelvis back. If you'd really like to get the spine involved, lift the chest, lift the upper body. Exhale, pelvis comes under, round and bow. Some of you will even find combining these movements of the spine and the arms is just too much, and you just do one at a time, or you just choose one. Okay, there's so many possibilities here. And maybe there's something else that you can creatively tap into that feels good. This is more a practice of feeling and sensing than copying and doing. So just listen to what really feels good for you today. Take the hands back behind you, drop the tail, drop the shoulders, climb up through the pelvic floor, through the spine, lift the chest and breathe into the centre of your chest as your upper body softens and as it relaxes. Just listen to what feels good. If you feel squished, move your hands back, wider. Take the space you need for your body. We all have different body, skeletal, like below bone structures. We all have different tension, different knots, different parts of our bodies that are tighter than others. We all have different emotional things going on every day. Come back to the centre. Mental things. So we all show up here in a really different place, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. So this is more of a practice of really tapping into what feels good than just copying and doing. So bring your feet together and bring your feet quite close into the base. Now, if that's too much, you can take your hands back behind you and you can sit on a block or cushions, and you can also have blocks or cushions underneath your knees. If you don't have blocks, you can use books, loads of pillows works perfectly. If it feels okay, you could have the hands on the feet, and most of you will feel that this is enough. Pull up through the spine as you relax your shoulders, face and jaw. You're breathing nice and slowly and deeply in and out. Only if you really don't feel anything. If you need more, you can float the belly forwards. I like to take my hands forwards to give myself space. And when you're coming forwards, it's like the belly leads the way. So instead of being like this, feel like you're creating space through the spine. So the base anchors down, the crown lifts up, and as you exhale, the belly floats forwards. And you can put equipment, blocks. You could stack up blocks like one on top of the other, T-shapes. Bolster could be here with equipment on it. So many possibilities. There's no wrong or right to how you use your equipment. It's more about feeling supported. So equipment isn't necessarily about making it easier. It might make it easier by all means, but it's more about feeling supported and comforted and being able to stay in these postures for longer. Like without equipment, usually I wouldn't teach a posture more than like 1 to 2 minutes maybe. Okay? And if you don't have any equipment, you may do 1 to 2 minutes and then come out and rest and then come back in again. But if we have the equipment, it enables us to be here longer. And it's almost like just nurturing ourselves. So it's like tucking yourself in, right? Giving yourself that little extra pillow. Giving yourself a bit more love and support. And perhaps you can use every exhalation to surrender into your comfortable edge. To let go of whatever you're letting go of. If you don't know what your comfortable edge is the place between too much and not enough. So we're always going as deep into the postures as we feel it's just the right spot. So if you've shown up here today, your body feels really open, your mind feels really clear, you're going to probably about 70% effort. Never beyond, because anything beyond that is likely to be strain, struggle. If you've shown up here today and there's a lot going on in your body, maybe your body's really tense, or you've been through a lot, or you've been through a lot of stress and a lot of emotional stuff, maybe mental stuff, I would suggest you pull it back and you go for gentle sensation. So something between maybe 40 to 60. And I'll explain why later. So find your comfortable edge. Then can you breathe into it? Can you surrender into it? Can you soften into it? And maybe the body will give you that invitation to go deeper. Maybe actually you'll feel resistance and you'll feel that you have to pull back. Again, it's a practice of listening and feeling. If it gets too much, you just pull back. If you need more, you just go deeper. And I know resting in ease and stillness isn't easy. But there's a path to get you there, and the path is the breath. So it's to keep coming back to the breath, keep listening and feeling, keep being guided by what feels good for you. So we're going to really slowly begin to peel out, and we'll come all the way onto the back into constructive rest. So this time the knees are bent, the feet are quite wide, mine are around about mat distance apart, and the knees not together. By all means, if you need to kind of shimmy the lower back under a bit. And again, you can choose. If you're feeling quite inward today, if you feel like you really need to just really draw into yourself, you could have one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. If you feel like opening up to all possibilities, you could maybe have the hands by your body. If you want to open up to all that this new chapter is going to bring you, then open up. But some of you might still be in the retreating, clearing, shedding phase. Many of you will be, I think, this time of year. So you may want to come into yourself. And if it is, quite getting cooler where you are, and you may even want to put a little blanket on. Again, comfort, love. This is a practice of giving back to yourself. So I'm just going to leave you, and you're comfortable, I'm going to leave you in your constructive rest. Sometimes we call it the rebound. In your own silence, let the breath become natural for a moment, and just watch. What is there to notice about the sensation, about where we've just opened up in the legs, or the back, or the upper body? How's the breath? How's the energy? Can you feel it? You feel pulsations, something shifting and moving, numbness, tingling, maybe something else. How's the mind? Watch all that may be coming up and then just watch it leave. This is not about judging, this is just more about becoming aware. What is there to notice? Slowly and gently, when you feel ready, on an inhalation, doesn't have to be the first one. So wait for an inhalation to come along that feels right without being rushed. And bring your knees into the chest. Just hug your knees into the chest. Knees could be together or open. Hands could be on the knees or clasped or interlaced or even underneath the knees. And just give yourself a hug full of love. Soften into that hug. Soften the shoulders, face, jaw. On an inhalation, gently rocking all the way up onto the base. And this time, we're going to open up the legs quite wide for dragonfly. So legs are around about 80% wide. Straight away, some of you are like, whoa, it's intense. It's your adductors. Then you can put some blocks underneath your knees. And you can actually just shift your weight back a little bit. Actually, conveniently, I've just got this here. If there's a wall there, you can just use it. If you are hypermobile or pregnant, then you may decide to keep your feet gently awake if there's any issues in your pelvis. Otherwise, you can just have them quite soft. option one is here, and again, you can lean back. You're not collapsing into the wrists. You're light on the wrists, and again, be against the wall if you need to. And you can even sit on blocks and pillows. Second option is to be here nice and tall in the centre. Hands could be in front or to the side. And I think most of you will be happy here. Okay, and I think most of you will have the sensation. If you feel your hamstrings, try taking your legs a bit wider. So your hamstrings are the muscles, the back of the legs. We're looking more for the inner legs, the adductors. But if whatever you do, if you cannot find those adductors, and that's actually me, it doesn't matter what I do, I can't get the adductors because my hamstrings are way tighter than my adductors, then you're good. But it's worth having a wee look, a wee move around to see if you can access these, because they really need a stretch, okay? Often. And we will be going to hamstrings next. So then from here, you could lengthen up. If you want more, float the belly forwards, similar to before. Instead of just dipping the chest and the head, pull the crown up. Draw the shoulders back and soften your belly and base. So the belly can just gently lead forwards and down to wherever you need to be. Now again, you could have a bolster underneath your elbows here, or blocks. Could even be somewhere like here. It's usually my go-to, but not today. So it just shows you how every single day when we come here, we're completely different. Blocks. Soften the base. Soften the shoulders, the face and the jaw. And if you would like, you could stay with those or pick back up the deep breathing, the long, slow, deep breathing. I'm a really big fan of long, slow, deep breathing from the base up, particularly in Yin, because it often can help us. Belly breathing can help us to really tap into our parasympathetic nervous system. That's the nervous system we slip into when we start to rest, restore. Sometimes we call it rest and digest, which is really a lot of what Yin is about. But we're not just breathing into the belly. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I would maybe suggest the belly, ribs, chest all the way up and really breathing into the full torso. But sometimes that may not feel good. If you want natural breathing, if you want a softer breathing, you can do whatever you want. Your choice. Find your comfortable edge. And the thing about this comfortable edge is that it's a moving target. So it's always changing. So you may feel the body. I always feel like my body's ready for more. It's like like you feel the body almost exhaling physically, like in the muscles and the joint, if that makes sense to anyone. And then feel like, okay, I can go lower. Okay, I feel a surrender. My body's like, okay, I'm ready for more. If there's like resistance, it's too much, you pull back. So we have to really concentrate on that sensation to find out where we need to be. And again, some of you are also being guided by, what you know is going on in your life and knowing that there's a need to pull back too. Or to be gentle with yourself. I know some of us think that, yoga, it's just yoga, it's just stretching. Yoga's a powerful, powerful practice, and we are doing so much here. We are, we're working with the nervous system. We're working with the breathing, the emotion. We're releasing emotions. We're releasing pent-up energy, stuck energy, stagnant energy. We're opening up physical tension. We're coming into stillness. And when we come into stillness, sometimes we become aware of what's really going on within us, in our minds. So there's a lot going on. So if there's a lot going on in your life, just be gentle with yourself. And the breath. The breath is always there. The breath is also a teacher. Your breathing may also be teaching you and telling you what's really going on here today. So listen to it. And again, those of you who are going through a lot emotionally, stress levels, maybe there's just something really big change going on in your life that's taking a lot out of you, just come out and rest more. Come out early. Take a bigger rest, because we're going to constructive rest soon. In, round out another minute. Okay, lie down. If you don't want to, notice I've just had to kind of pull my leg up. I'm going to leave it dead. If you don't want to do the knees in, you could just lie down. You can do anything you want. Lie on your side. Just somewhere where it's not really like a stretch, because this part is not about stretching or opening. It's about recalibration. So lie down and watch. What is there to notice? And often what happens when we sustain these postures, we can temporarily restrict the fluids and even the energy into certain parts of our bodies. And then when we come out, we can have this really big surge of energy that surges through the body, and also fluid, blood systems. And we can feel intensity from that. We can sometimes feel a sense of fragility when we come out and we lie down in constructive rest. Just watch it all almost brew, and then watch it settle. Or anything else that there is that's happening, just observe it with complete non-judgmental compassion, maybe with natural breathing. Maybe you're even feeling yourself settling down more and more. When you're ready, taking your time on an inhalation, hug the knees. Doesn't need to be immediate. Sometimes we feel like we always have to be rushing, or we realise we're rushing, we don't need to be rushing. Can you come out of that? And just slow, taking your time, patience, hug yourself like someone that you love. Give yourself all that love you give away. We all give away so often to other people. This is a practice of giving it back to you. The idea is we fill ourselves up and then we give from the overspill instead of consistently giving out and out and out to the point where we have nothing left. Rocking all the way up. Extend out your left leg. Bring your right foot into the pelvis. Now, because I don't have equipment today, we're going to do a little side stretch, and then we'll be doing a twist, and we'll do just a little half a minute on the side stretch, and we'll do the twist for a minute. If you're uncomfortable, then you can always come out and come back in and make it more fluid. So, again, could be sitting on pillows, cushions underneath the knee or the base. Your left hand is ready to slide down the leg. Your right hand comes behind you. Now straight away, let's drop the shoulders and pull up from the spine and the crown. And on an inhalation, take that right arm all the way out and up and over. Now you could turn the palm down towards the ground. Sometimes the shoulder will plug in. Or you'd even cradle the head with the hand. Drop your shoulders and even drop into your right hip and really breathe into your side body. Feel the chest, almost like the chest is lifting up and under the armpit, and you're breathing into that side body. Listen to it. Shoulders are free, jaws free. The head, you can look up or you can move the head if it's not happy. If anything feels awkward or uncomfortable, just make a tiny, tiny movement to change. And staying with the breath. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths in and out. You relax your face, your jaw. One more breath. When you're ready to inhale, come all the way up. See that hand in the air? Take it behind you, like towards the side. If I take it too far back, my shoulder kind of feels a bit jammed. And then the other hand, so your left hand comes across and you turn your palm up. Now, if you're struggling to be tall, sit on something, put something underneath your base, pull up through the spine, through the crown, and exhale, draw your chest around towards the right. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're coming up and around. The ribs almost come in a tad, not so much you're squeezing. It's a slight drawing in as you come up from the centre column instead of puffing your chest up. So you feel almost like this kind of twist. You do feel a twisting of the middle back. The chest leads the movement around. The head gently follows. Again, push too much from your head, you're going to feel discomfort in your neck. And you're breathing into the torso. Relaxing the upper body. So most yin postures we hold for a minimum of 2 minutes because we say that's where the rule just begins. But some of them, like a posture like this, it just wouldn't be comfortable for longer than a minute, I would say. Last deep breath. Finish off your exhalation. Take an inhalation. Fill up. Slowly, slowly. Empty out. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Release. Turn yourself towards your straight leg. You probably will have to make a tiny adjustment to do that. It's all sorts of nature here. So you can fold towards your leg, or you could go towards the side of the leg. We're looking really here for the hamstrings, the 3 muscles at the back of the thigh. What you can do is you can have your bolster here, and you could have blocks on top and you could rest down, or you'd even have your bolster long ways and rest here, or even your blocks. Before we go anywhere, you might want to pull the flesh out at the base, and you're drawing the pelvis back and pulling up through the spine. And some of you might even find that here you're like, whoa, hamstrings. And if that's the case, if you have a strap or a sock, got a little sock I could use here. You could. It's a bit of a short one, but you could use that, okay? And you can stay nice and tall. Otherwise, if you want to fold, let the belly lead the way towards the leg or to the side. Push the pelvis back. Draw the shoulders back. It's got this lovely open chest. So again, you're not leading from the chest and the head, you're leading from the belly. You go as low as you've got the comfortable edge in your hamstrings, and then you rest your head onto the equipment. Again, find the comfortable edge. Find space through the spine, across the chest. Relax your shoulders, face and jaw. Breathing through your pelvis. Even through your torso, your body. Into your body. I think with the hamstrings, a lot of us have this kind of notion, particularly, that we need to force or push beyond the limitations. My hamstrings are probably the tightest part of my body, and I actually I have to go quite gentle with them always. I don't ever think I'm ever even going to 70%, because if I do, my body will start freaking out, quite frankly. Just a little bit longer. Staying with the breath. One more minute. But again, if you want to come out early, just come out early and rest. Because again, that's where we're coming to next. Breathe into your hamstrings. The joys of being outside. Are just a bunch of guys just showed up to do some workman stuff. So I'm hoping that noise isn't going to disturb us too much. But we're nearly coming towards the end. Amazing. You might even feel your middle back. You might feel your hips. Like the hamstrings, is generally the target area here. But I'm sure you're going to feel some additional stretches in other places. Okay, lie back, rest. Again, I think by now you know what to do. I'm going to start giving you more and more and more silence and more time to yourself. I think by now we know what to do. And maybe you're ready for a bit more silence now. Maybe the mind is settled more. How does even one side of your body feel compared to the other side, since we've done the right side and not the left yet? Sorry, we've done the left side, not the right. Slowly and gently begin to hug your knees into the chest. Soften into that hug. Take your time. Rocking all the way back up. Extend the right leg. Use your equipment. Do whatever you need to do underneath the base or the knee. The right hand ready to slide in the leg. The left hand comes behind you. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Spin the palm in. Drop the shoulders. How does it feel to pull up from the spine, the crown, even cradle the head? And exhale, come up and over. You can slide the hand on the leg to wherever you need to be so your shoulders can soften. Feel like you're creating space, but you're relaxing into that space you're creating. So it's like a lift through the torso, it's a lift through the chest, there's a relaxation of your upper body, and you're breathing through this side torso. Soften into it as much as you can. And again, if anything's awkward or uncomfortable, just do whatever you need to do to come away from that. When you're ready to inhale, that hand behind your head comes all the way up and behind you. The hand on the leg comes across to the leg and you turn it up. Inhale, pull up. Sit on anything you might need. Exhale, twist towards the left. Pull up, again, in from the ribs, up through the spine and around. So there's a real lengthening before you rotate. Your head just follows the chest. The chest is the leader. And you're relaxing your shoulders, face and jaw completely. You'll feel this kind of like your posture's coming alive, but you're not squeezing or clenching or holding at all. Breathing into it. Breathing into your torso, into your ribs, not just from the front but from the back, without puffing the ribs or chest. And actually even breathing into that back might help with that. Finish off the exhalation. Take a nice deep breath in. And then out. Turn towards your straight leg. Make any adjustments you need to. Use any equipment you need to. First of all, create space, whether you've got your strap, or if you're coming forwards, pull forwards, space across the chest, up through the spine, even pushing the pelvis back. Then exhale, float your belly towards the leg. First option is tall, second option, float towards the leg, third, to the side of the leg. Listen to the hamstrings to find the sensation that is just right for you today. Breathe into those lovely hamstrings and send them positive messages to your hamstrings. You know, we say that every cell in your body hears your messages. It's actually a proven fact by research. What you say to yourself, your body, your cells hear that and respond to that. We say that even by being more positive in the mind and by speaking to ourselves kinder, we can really shift not only our mental perspective but our physical state. We can heal faster or prevent disease. Breathe love and gentleness into those lovely hamstrings. What I didn't mention, stay in the posture, stay with your breath. The one thing that I didn't finish and complete on was just why, if you've been going through a lot lately, why you would want to take it easier on yourself. It's just sometimes when we've been going through a lot of stress or a lot of emotional stuff going on, and if you have been really, really stressed or busy or tight, tense, overthinking, it's very easy to go from like 0 to 100 too fast, and then what can happen is you can end up with a healing crisis. You can feel really exhausted, really emotional. I mean, tears are going to come in yoga, it's really natural, but like overwhelming emotion, we can even feel sick, headaches, we can become sick. So it's really important, if you've been going through a lot, that you just be gentle with yourself, and just to make sure that you don't do too much too soon and do more harm than good. Okay, so be gentle with yourself. And you can slowly over time, gradually increase how much you're putting into your practice until you're back to full health. And those of you who've shown up here in a really good place today, you go as far as you would like, go for it without being in pain or uncomfortable. Okay, last breath here. When you're ready, as you inhale, coming all the way up and lie back, you may, because of the hamstring stretch, some of you may feel that you really need to hug your knees into the chest. And if that's the case, go for it. Hug the knees in, give yourself a hug, and then you'll get ready for Shavasana. If you don't know what Shavasana is, you'll be lying on your back. The legs go at least mat distance apart. Shimmy the lower back under. You might want to put some cushions underneath your knees. Shimmy the shoulders under and get the arms really long. Pull the hands away. Maybe palms are up. Maybe you have a pillow, maybe a blanket, or maybe you have your hands on your body. Basically get spacious, get comfortable, get tucked in, and then get still. The breath, you can maybe take a nice sigh, nice deep breath in, and then a nice sigh of relief out, release out. Lovely. And then the breath becomes natural and soft. Perhaps as you lie here, you feel this sense of rebalance, the sacred balance of both sides of the body, but also maybe the balance of the practice. As much balance as this practice is going to give you today. Sometimes it takes longer than one yoga class. It's okay. The breath is free. The body's heavy. Empty out your body. Empty out the physical tension. Feel as though with every exhalation, like you're becoming closer and closer to the earth. You're becoming even more grounded after that grounded yin practice. You're coming down more and more and more. And maybe every gentle exhalation helps you to release a little tiny bit more. Every exhalation, if there is anything to let go, you're releasing. It's like you're just like the trees. Shedding, clearing those old leaves, those old stories, those old habits, patterns. A lot of us, we've come through quite an intense summer. It's been quite a slow summer for many of us and can have been a heavy one, I think, with lots of lessons. Lots of realizations, lots of stuff to overcome, a lot of reevaluation. Perhaps you're releasing what you're not taking with you. All that you learned from this summer that you're just not taking with you into the last part of the year. Coming down more and more, level after level, zone after zone. I'm going to leave you in silence for maybe the last couple of minutes of your Shavasana. Some of you will be staying longer. Just be with whatever you feel you need to be with right now. Some of you are staying here longer. You can always just shut down the computer, or if you're watching this from, be in your own space. If you're ready to awaken, you could start to deepen the breath, wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe you'd like to have a stretch of your arms and your toes. Maybe you would like to hug your knees into the chest. Gentle, slow, awakening movements to come back. Take your time. Maybe rolling onto your side. Take a nice deep breath in and out to eventually come all the way back up to seated. Tall, without being tense. Maybe hands come to Anjali Mudra, to the heart, sternum. Take a moment. Thank yourself for today's practice. Thank yourself for honouring yourself at this time, for slowing down, for really giving yourself space just to reset and to recalibrate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for joining me.